Imagine waking up, stepping onto your own private balcony, and seeing Bora Bora floating in front of you, that impossible shade of turquoise, a green volcanic peak rising out of the lagoon, and not a single crowd in sight. Now imagine you didn't have to pack and unpack 5 times to see 5 islands like this, because your luxury resort sails with you. Today, I'm taking you aboard the one ship that was built, literally purpose-built, for French Polynesia, the MS Paul Gauguin. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it's like on board, where she sails, what's really included in that all-inclusive fare, and whether this is the right trip for you. Hi, I'm Ada Janisic with Infinity Fun and Travel, and welcome back to our series on the world's most amazing ports, ships, and resorts. In this series, I bring you the inside look I get as a travel advisor. The webinars, the training, the details the brochures gloss over, so you can dream smarter and travel better. Today's episode is all about Tahiti and the Society Islands aboard the Paul Gauguin. And if islands are your thing, make sure you subscribe, because we have more tropical episodes coming right behind this one. First, let's set the scene. French Polynesia is a collection of 118 islands and atolls scattered across the South Pacific. They shimmer like a string of Tahitian pearls, and honestly, that's not just marketing talk. This is the home of the overwater bungalow, the Black Pearl, and the word mana, the Tahitian spirit of life. It's about an 8-hour flight from the west coast, and here's a fun fact. Tahiti is actually in the same time zone as Hawaii, so the jet lag is gentler than you'd expect. The islands split into groups. The Society Islands are the famous ones: Tahiti, Moorea, Bora Bora, Huahin, Taha'a. Names that sound like a song. The challenge? They're spread across open ocean, and island hopping by small plane gets expensive and complicated fast, which is exactly why a small cruise ship here isn't just a way to travel. It's the smartest way to travel. 1 unpack, 5 islands, and your hotel takes the scenic route while you sleep. So let's talk about the star of the show, the MS Paul Gauguin. She carries just 330 guests. That's it. For comparison, the megaships carry 5,000 or 6,000, and she was designed specifically for these waters. A shallow draft that lets her glide into lagoons and shallow atolls the big ships simply cannot enter. This is the difference between anchoring inside the Bora Bora lagoon versus admiring it from a distance. On board, the feel is yacht-style craftsmanship blended with warm Polynesian design. Teak, natural textures, fresh flowers everywhere. Nearly 70% of the staterooms and suites have a private balcony, and every single one faces the ocean. The service is where she really shines. With a crew-to-guest ratio of about 1 crew member for every 1.5 guests, the staff learns your name, your favorite drink, and how you take your coffee by day 2. There are 3 open-seating dining venues, including La Veranda, with menus inspired by French fine dining. And because seating is open, you dine when you want, with whom you want. No assigned tables, no rushing. Now, the words all-inclusive get thrown around a lot in travel, so let me tell you what they actually mean on the Gauguin, because this is one of the most complete fares at sea. Your cruise fare includes all of your meals in every venue. It includes your beverages, and yes, that means fine wine, beer, spirits, and soft drinks, not just at dinner, but throughout the ship all day. It includes your gratuities, no surprise envelope at the end of the week. It includes shipboard Wi-Fi. It includes port taxes and fees. It even includes non-motorized water sports right off the ship's own marina. Kayaking, paddleboarding, snorkeling gear for the week. And if you book a Category B stateroom or higher, you'll have butler service included as well. When you add up what you'd pay separately for drinks, tips, Wi-Fi, and activities on other lines, or at a luxury resort on land, the value math changes completely. I'll come back to that comparison in a few minutes. Let me walk you through her signature voyage, the 7-night Tahiti and the Society Islands cruise. 5 islands in 7 days, and it's round trip from Papeete, so 1 set of flights. You'll board in Papeete, the capital, on the island of Tahiti. Give yourself an extra day here if you can for the waterfront market and those famous food trucks called roulottes. From there, the Gauguin sails to Huahin. They call it the Garden of Eden, and it feels wonderfully untouched. Vanilla farms, ancient stone temples called marae, and one of the sleepiest, sweetest main streets in the South Pacific. Then comes my favorite day of the entire cruise, Taha'a, the vanilla island, because the Gauguin has something no other line has here. Motu Mahana, their own private islet in Taha'a's lagoon. Picture a perfect little palm-covered island, a full Tahitian barbecue on the beach, Polynesian musicians and, I'm not making this up, a floating bar in the lagoon where you can sip a cocktail while standing waist-deep in water so clear it doesn't look real. Then, Bora Bora, and the ship doesn't just stop by, she stays, giving you time for the lagoon, the snorkel and dive sites, a 4x4 tour into the mountains, or lunch at the famous Bloody Mary's. That extra time is a luxury most itineraries just don't give you. And finally, Moria, which many travelers whisper is even more beautiful than Bora Bora. Jagged emerald peaks straight out of a movie, pineapple fields, and lagoons full of rays and reef sharks you can snorkel with. Again, you get generous time here, often overnight, before the short sail back to Papeete. 5 islands, 1 unpack, and every single day, paradise comes to you. Beyond the ports, there are a few touches that make this ship special. First, Les Gauguins, a troupe of Tahitian hosts and entertainers who sail with you all week. They sing, they dance, they teach you to tie a pareo and string flower crowns, and by the end of the week they feel like family. They are the heartbeat of this ship, and no other cruise line has anything quite like them. For the active travelers, the retractable water sports marina lowers right off the back of the ship, and the Gauguin is one of the best dive ships in the region. You can even get certified on board. For relaxation, there's a spa with Polynesian-inspired treatments. And honestly, the best treatment of all is a balcony, a warm breeze, and nowhere to be. Families are welcome too. On select sailings, the Moana Explorer program partners with naturalists to teach kids about reefs, rays, and Polynesian culture. And of course, honeymooners and anniversary couples. This ship was practically made for you. They'll even arrange a Polynesian blessing ceremony. Yes, I can book that for you. Yes, there will be tears. Now, let's talk honestly about money, because Tahiti has a reputation for being expensive, and on land, it absolutely can be. A quality overwater bungalow in Bora Bora often runs $1,000 to $2,000 a night. Before food and dining at a resort, there can easily add several $100s a day per couple, plus inter-island flights to see more than one island. When you stack that against the Gauguin, where your 7-night fare covers your room, all your meals, your drinks, your gratuities, your Wi-Fi, your water sports, and transportation between 5 islands, the cruise very often comes out ahead, and sometimes dramatically ahead, for a 5-star experience. 7-night sailings frequently start in the mid-3,000s per person. And there are often extras like included airfare promotions or no single supplement for solo travelers on select categories. This is exactly the kind of math I love running for my clients. Your dates, your stateroom category, your dream. Because the right sailing at the right time makes paradise surprisingly attainable. So who is the Paul Gauguin for? If you love boutique hotels more than big resorts, if you'd rather have 5 islands than 5 water slides, if you want luxury that feels barefoot and warm instead of formal and stuffy, she's for you. Honeymooners, milestone anniversaries, bucket listers, solo travelers, and anyone who has stared at a screensaver of Bora Bora and thought, someday. A quick advisor tip from me. These sailings are small. 330 guests means cabins genuinely sell out, especially balcony categories and holiday dates. If you're dreaming about next year, the best fares and the best staterooms go to the people who plan 8 to 12 months ahead. If today's video put French Polynesia on your list, here's your next step. I'm Ada Janisic, travel advisor with Infinity Fun and Travel, and this is what I do. I match you with the right ship, the right stateroom, the right season, and I watch the promotions so you don't have to. Call me at 855-229-5723, extension 1. Email me at ada@infinityfunandtravel.com or visit infinityfunandtravel.com. And let's start with a free discovery call where we'll talk through your dates, your dreams, and whether the Gauguin is your perfect fit. The discovery call costs you nothing. If you decide to have Infinity Fun and Travel design and manage your trip from start to finish, our planning service is $400 per cabin or couple. And honestly, with everything we watch, negotiate, and handle for you, it's the best money you'll spend on this trip. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button and the bell, because in this series, we're touring the world's greatest ports, ships, and resorts. And coming up next, we're headed somewhere just as dreamy. Until then, dream big, travel well, And I'll see you on the next one. Nana and Maururu. That's goodbye and thank you in Tahitian.